Hey, everyone, it's Jess and the dog. There's Nikki. He's probably going to make some annoying noise in the middle of this video. I haven't done a video in a while, and especially not a what sold video. I just recorded a podcast episode, which I hope you'll listen to. I've been just kind of shifting the podcast to like update episodes. I mean, business a little crazy in Canada right now. Reselling is gotten hard. I mean, hard. That's the best way to describe it. So I'm kind of doing update episodes on the podcast, just talking about the shifts that I'm making in the business, things we're trying to do to do more than just stay afloat. But we are, we're still breaking even, and I wanted to share some of the things that have sold well for us in October. So some kind of interesting trends going on since I moved most of my listings from .com to .ca. So I'm going to show you some of those things. Let me share my screen. Okay, here's where we're at. So I want to show you just a few of my favorite sales or interesting sales, things that sold in October. So these were an amazingly quick sale. So I actually love picking up yearbooks. The older the better, but I'll pick up any high school yearbook pretty much anytime. And we got these pretty recently at an estate sale. And they're actually, even though they have different titles, they're all from the same high school in Alberta. And we put these up. I always sell them, I always price for yearbooks around $20 each, kind of regardless of their condition or when they're from or anything. So I put these up for $120 for the set, and they sold like the same day or maybe the next day. And they went to Westlock, Alberta. So I thought that was super cool that they were going right back to from whence they came. And the other neat thing was I hadn't listed it yet, but there was also this sort of felt hat that said WHS on it. So I was pretty sure it was from the same high school. And I hadn't listed it yet, but I wrote to this buyer and I said, hey, do you want to buy that too? Make me an offer. He made me a fair offer. I think it was $25. And I sold him that as well. So that is pretty cool. I love that these things got back to their hometown. I think that's really cool. And hopefully the buyer does, does something neat with them, respects them and appreciates them, and continues to pass them along to people who will enjoy them in the future. So I really like that sale. Sometimes, yearbooks are so weird. I always pick them up, but sometimes they take eons to sell, and I don't know why. And sometimes they sell right away. And I was happy to see these ones go pretty fast. So that was a cool sale. Let's move on to the next one. I'm just sharing these just for fun. So this is a .com sale. These sold for full price. They're folding Wayfarer sunglasses. They're pretty cool. I don't know where they came from, but I was cleaning out a cupboard in my living room, and I'm like, Johan, we have way too many pairs of sunglasses and things that we're not using. I'm like, where did these even come from? And he couldn't remember, and I couldn't remember. But I'm like, I think I can get 65 US for these. So I put them up, and these actually also sold really fast. They only took a few days, and they sold for full price at US $64.99. Now, I can't remember where we shipped these. I think they might have gone international. So this wasn't a US buyer. I decided to put them up on .com. This is part of an experiment that I'm kind of working on right now, where I'm listing things on .com with a US bound shipping rate that's high enough to include the tariffs for the country of origin. So that's what I decided to do with these. And my theory is that international buyers look more on .com than they ever will on .ca. So if I can list something on .com, I probably should. I bet that these would not have sold, at least not as fast, if I hadn't listed them on .com. Just my theory, but I think that's it. So kind of a fun sale just because I found this in the cupboard in the living room. Didn't know what to do with it. Don't know how long we've had it. Don't remember where it came from. And off it went. But it's a cool product, like Ray-Ban folding Wayfarers. Those are neat. So I'm glad those are gone. So we picked up from somebody over a period of a few months a pretty spectacular collection of Star Wars action figures and toys. And some of these things were incredibly rare. We kept what we think are the most valuable items from that collection. And we're not going to sell them at this time, but we did put up quite a few things that are, 1977 to 1981, like original action figures. This is a cool one because it's the card is unpunched, which is something that collectors look for. So it doesn't have the little punch out thing that they would punch out to like hang it on the rack at the store. So this was a good sale. I think this is worth more than I sold it for, 262 Canadian, but it had been up in the store for a while. I had recently moved it over to .ca, and then I just decided to discount it. Again, this is one of those collections where we've made our money several times over already. And I know these items are rare, and not there aren't a million of them for sale on eBay or really anywhere. But at the same time, knowing that we made our money and knowing that sales are kind of a challenge right now, this was a good one, and I wasn't going to say no to $262 sale. And so I'm happy that went. I did mention on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and I've said it before on the podcast many times, is that the rich people, like people with money, are still going to continue to have money no matter how bad things get economically. So cater to those people, sell them the rare things, make them feel like they're getting a deal, and you can survive. So the more cool, rare things like this we can pick up, we're obviously never going to stop sourcing this stuff. It will sell, even if the market value is somewhat depressed at this time. This is the kind of stuff that keeps you going if you've got this good inventory. So it's important to keep looking for it. Let's move on to this one. Okay, this is only a $20 sale. I always like to share at least one or two small value sales. So I don't like listing $20, $25 items in the store at all. And I spent a bunch of time last summer actually reducing our inventory of cheap items by quite a bit. But this was one of the things that I had taken off of .com. I don't know why I would have ever listed this on .com in the first place. It's clearly Canada related. And as soon as I put it up on .ca, it sold. And the funny part about this sale was that I had just seen, like the day that it sold, I had seen a story on some news channel about, I think it was like someone who had found their grandfather's food ration coupon books or something. And they were actually like talking about this on the news. And then this sold that day. And I was like, did someone else see that story and go looking for more food ration coupon book stamps? I just thought that was like serendipitous and kind of funny. So this is a cute sale. It's a small item. It's just been sitting in our ephemera boxes for a bunch of years. So off it goes, and I never have to think about it again, which is also fantastic. Yeah, so if it's a neat old Canada related thing, I'm still happy to relist it, even though we didn't get much money for it. For sure, like whoever listed this in the first place, because I think we've had it for several years, it was probably one of our past employees. Honestly, like the amount of time that was spent to even research this and list it probably means like we didn't really profit much at all. But, hopefully it just went to somebody who is going to appreciate it and enjoy it and the history behind it. So there's that one. Okay, I have to talk about these golf club heads for a couple minutes. So from Very Big Company, Johan went and picked from their recycling a big pile of these golf club heads that was pink, tailor-made, like, I don't know, like lots of really good brands. And, ooh, the Canucks just scored. Haha, that's great. All right, Canucks scored. Life is good. I've got wine. Anyway, there were probably like over 50 of these things. Not necessarily brand new. Maybe they were demo club heads, or we're not sure, but it was just the heads. And we're like, wow, these are really good brands. And so I just listed them all on .ca. And it's funny, they took a month or two to gain momentum. And I didn't really expect them to be selling after golf season the way they are. But right now we're shipping 1 or 2 a week. And that's fantastic. And they all sell between $40 and about $75. So these are great sales. This was in the recycling bin. And we're turning it into, an average of $50 times 50 things. $2,500 is nothing to sneeze at when things are tough. So I'm really happy with these. I've only had one issue where, like, I think inside the little part that sticks up there was something bent and I didn't see it. So I refunded that buyer, but otherwise everyone's been happy. So I'm really thrilled that this worked out as well as it did. A great garbage find. When you can turn a junk pick into 4 figures, you're always winning. This, I have no idea where it came from. It's just a good sale that I wanted to share. This miner's safety lamp. These things always sell really well. This is a more modern reproduction, but they still sell very well. And this one happened to be new in its original styrofoam, not the box, but the styrofoam. And again, this was another item. I had this on .com for a few months, didn't sell. I moved it to .ca, sold within a week. So I don't, and this has happened with a number of items. Of course, they've almost all gone to Canadian buyers. And I do kind of wonder if maybe these are buyers who were perhaps watching our item in the past and then didn't buy it because they didn't want to buy in US currency, and then maybe saw it pop up in our store. Like, this could be followers of ours that have been watching this item and they're like, oh, well, now that I can buy this in Canadian dollars, I will. And so anyway, I'm just happy because I think I took an offer of like 150 on it. So I got a really good price for that. It's always feels good when things are as hard as they have gotten, to get sales that are over $100. So I was really happy with that. And then I'll share one more, which is this jewelry set. I have a lot of jewelry items that I could share with you. This was a junk pick that we got about a year and a half ago when we first started working with Very Big Company, and it's one of the most incredible picks we've ever had. I think we make money from this almost every day still. My only regret of that pick is that we didn't take absolutely everything that was in the trucks. We should have, because I'm sure like it was like raining that day and we rushed through it. We should have just transferred everything into our shop and dealt with it later. It ended up having a pretty incredible jewelry collection in it. A lot of it was costume, and at first we poo-pooed that, but it turned out that these were like nice brands of costume jewelry that sell on like QVC and like Home Shopping Channel and stuff, but they're quite expensive, and there is a collector's market for them. So this one brand, Bars, is fairly popular. This one isn't even precious metal. It's just like brass or something, or bronze maybe. But anyway, nice set, $80. Another thing I had listed on .com for quite a while, moved it over to .ca, and it sold within a few weeks. This is, a set that would probably cost you like at least $300 if you were to be buying it at a retail. So the person got an incredible deal. I don't care. Made my money over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not giving anything up here. These are gorgeous pieces going to a happy home. So those are some of the sales that I wanted to share with you today. Just a quick one, just a quick video. I always say I'm going to do more of these videos. The way that you get me to do it is by commenting, liking, sharing, telling other people about the channel, youtube.com/@StorageWarriorPodcast. Please share this as much as you can. The more traction that I get, the more motivating it is for me to do more videos. So if you like this one, please like, subscribe, share, and do all the wonderful things. We will talk to you next time.